Still waiting on parts for the skid steer. So in the meantime, we're gonna try to milk another video out of the old perpetual content machine here. The injection pump is really leaking. I mean, really leaking. We're gonna have to do something about that. The puddle's a little bigger than normal. And I hear thunder. It's gonna be raining here any minute. So in order to avoid an ecological catastrophe, we better try and reseal that pump. This is a CAV pump. It's kind of a British version of a Rusamaster rotary injection pump. They're notorious leakers. Looks like the throttle shaft is the main culprit, but I know that this gasket under the top cover also leaks because I had to fix that once before. This gasket here where you time it is also leaking, so yeah, we're gonna do what we can. Normally I'm not an advocate of cleaning things before I work on them, but this thing is filthy. I'm gonna bust out the pressure washer and see if we can chisel through some of this. I would like to avoid taking it off the engine if possible. So we'll see how that goes. This is my hot water pressure washer. It's an ancient Hotsy. I bought this on an auction years ago for $10 and I got what I paid for. There is no such thing as a cheap hot water pressure washer. Pretty much the only thing about it that's original is the chassis and the electric motor. I had to repair the coil, replace the pump, redo the belt drive. Somebody hacked it up and they added these stilts in here and moved the enclosure up. I have no idea why. Anyway, it works pretty good. I run it off of diesel fuel. Whenever I have a nasty tank that I clean out, I just dump it in here. It'll burn just about anything. I think all we got to do is pull this top cover off. Might as well pull this timing cover off. Needs to be resealed anyway. There it is. Will the drain pan catch it? Looks like most of it's going in there. Yeah, that gasket's not looking too hot. I don't know, is it just two screws that hold that thing on there? Guess so. Oh boy, that thing looks nasty inside. Alright, I think I gotta push the throttle shaft down through. There it is. Well, that's gone, whatever it was. That thing is pretty crusty inside. I mean, it runs fantastic. That's as clean as I can get it. This thing is pretty scuzzy. So the culprit is these O-rings. Well, it's got two. The bottom one doesn't look too bad. The top one's all chewed up. Same deal on the shutoff. Quite a bit of wear on this throttle shaft. It should look like this with CAD plating. You can see the plating's all worn off on this side. The bore is worn as well. So we'll do what we can. We may have to replace this upper housing. The seal kit, normally I would buy that from Area Diesel Service, but this is a little bit of an unusual circumstance. The customer actually had the parts. He just wanted me to install them. Okay, that should be our O-rings. That might be a little excessive. Yeah, we'll try it. This thing's got a lot of hours on it, 6,000 hours. Well, I cleaned what I could. It's not great, but it's gonna have to do for now. Probably not the way you're supposed to do it, but works for me. Not sure how you can tell if the shutdown lever is engaged or not. There it is. It's tricky because you gotta turn the throttle shaft to line up the slot. Looks good. Okay. Unless we find out that these injection lines are leaking, that's as far as we're gonna go. I'm gonna turn the fuel back on. We're gonna let it sit overnight, and then we gotta bleed this thing out. These CAV pumps are a real pain to bleed. So we'll deal with that in the morning. Okay, we're supposed to crack open the lower and upper bleed screws. Alright, I'm going to go operate the hand priming pump, which is on the other side of the engine. That's what we want to see, lots of air bubbles. DeBoss Garage just had a fight with one of these in a recent video. In fact, I think it was the same model backhoe. They ended up having to rebuild the whole pump, and then it still didn't want to bleed. Okay, I'm going to close this one. See if we can get fuel out of that top one. There we go. That might have been a little too optimistic. We should probably see if it runs first. I'm still a little gun shy from my recent runaway diesel engine experience. So I popped the intake hose off, and if anything goes wrong, I'm going to jam this piece of rubber over the intake and kill the engine. Well, the grill is a little bit bent. Luckily, this machine comes with a built-in grill straightener. That'll work. It's a pretty handy little feature. Now the fun part. Oh, man. This thing is not light. I don't know whose idea it was to powder coat a muffler, but that seems like a bad idea to me. Sure makes it hard to weld. This is quite a lash up. So we got a reducer here that's being used as an embiggener that goes into a reducer, that goes into the muffler, that then goes into a reducer. Not quite sure why that top one needs to be there, but that's the way the customer wants it. So that's the way he's gonna get it. What am I missing here? Luckily, I'm a hoarder, and I happen to have this old clamp on the shelf. Might do the trick. Not going to work. Stand by. That's as good as she's gonna get. We had a little mission creep, but that's okay. It all needed to be done. The injection pump is dry as a bone. It runs good. I adjusted the shutdown cable, that works. I got the cross brace installed. I really didn't know how I was gonna do that without killing myself, and it worked out pretty good. Exhaust is taken care of, hood's installed. I got the little trim pieces here underneath of the instrument panel installed. Air filters back in. This thing is tip top.
get going though. That looks like Jack.